Hello and welcome back to Introduction to Physics. My name is Paul Eric and I teach physics, astronomy, and geology at Ozarks Technical Community College in Springfield, Missouri, and this is a video version of the lectures that I give to my Introduction to Physics students. So today we want to do lesson number 4 on Newton's second and third laws of motion. So if you recall, in a previous lesson we talked about what Newton's first law of motion was, and then in another episode we explained what speed and acceleration were, and so now we want to put this all together in talking about Newton's second and third laws of motion. So our lesson objectives are to explain the concepts of acceleration, mass, force, and Newton's first law, state Newton's second law of motion and be able to use it to calculate accelerations, explain the difference between a scalar and a vector, add forces together geometrically, calculate a missing force in a statics problem, calculate the weight of an object and know what the force of friction depends on, and then state and apply Newton's third law of motion. So, in your textbook, Conceptual Physics by Paul Hewitt, be reading chapters 2, sections 4 and 5, chapter 4, sections 1 through 5, and then chapter 5, sections 1 through 3. So, in chapter 2, that's going to be Newton's first law of motion. Chapter 4 is going to be Newton's second law of motion, and then chapter 5 is going to be Newton's third law of motion. And you'll notice that there are some physics videos available here. So at Physics Fundamentals, you've got all of these different episodes that are going to deal with what I'm talking about today, and then also Physics in Motion also has some good videos for this. And then there's also Crash Course Physics. Episode 5 goes with what we're talking about. And then, if you watch episode 6 on friction, you don't need to know how to calculate friction on ramps. Okay, let's take a break, and when we come back, we will begin our review of what we know about forces.